Welcome to Direct U.S. Immigration's channel, where you get direct access to our most up-to-date immigration and global mobility space. My name is Maitreya Brown, and I'm going to talk about the transit and ship crew visas. Stay My name is Maitreya Brown, and I'm a U.S. immigration attorney based in Washington, D.C. I'm also the principal attorney at Direct U.S. Immigration, where we work with clients in all 50 states and around the world. Before we start, click on the like and subscribe button to follow our Immigration Hub to get the latest immigration information that could be vital to your case. And also, be sure to stick around until the end to get bonus information on what will happen if you present fake supporting documents. So all crew members of international airlines or personnel on ships and cruise liners must obtain a C-1 or D visa if you intend to travel to the United States for a limited period of time as a crew member and as part of your work on board. Now let's first talk about the C visa. So a citizen of a foreign country traveling in immediate and continuous transit through the United States en route to a foreign destination requires a valid transit visa. Exceptions to this requirement include those travelers eligible to transit to the U.S. without a visa under the Visa Waiver Program, or travelers who are nationals of a country with an agreement with the U.S. allowing their citizens to travel to the U.S. without visas. Now, suppose the traveler seeks layover privileges for purposes other than for transit through the U.S., such as visiting friends or sightseeing. In that case, the applicant will have to qualify for and obtain the type of visa required for that purpose, such as the B2 visitor visa. Now let's talk about the D visa. So a crew member serving on board a sea vessel or aircraft in the United States needs a crew visa. Crew members of an aircraft or ship that will be transiting through the U.S. or its waters generally use a combination transit crew visa, so the C1/D. However, in some cases, individuals may only require a D visa. Crew members who work aboard vessels within the outer continental shelf may qualify for a modified B1 visa instead of a crew visa. During time off between flights or cruises, crew members entering the United States should also obtain a B1, B2 visitor visa to use during these personal or vacation days. Applicants applying simultaneously for both the C1/D and the B1, B2 visitor visa pay only one visa application fee. Now let's talk about who needs the C1/D visa. So if you travel to the United States to join the vessel you will work on, you will need a C1/D visa. And the type of individuals that are most likely to use this visa are flight attendants, captains, pilots, ship and service personnel, technicians, and any other workers on board a ship or aircraft. Typical applicants for the C1/D visa include sea vessel captains, engineers, deckhands, and cruise ship staff. The visa also covers trainees on board a training vessel, pilots, and flight attendants. Crew members on ships who travel to the U.S. on a C1/D visa must leave the country on their vessel within 29 days. It is important to note that individuals are not eligible for a C1/D visa if their vessel is in a dry dock. So the D2 visa allows travel to the U.S. for those serving as a crewman on a marine vessel and who will depart on a different ship than what they arrived on, so such as if their original vessel, again, is in a dry dock. Those who are coasting officers or working on the outer continental shelf are also not covered by the C1/D visa. Employees of vessels or units operating on the outer continental shelf require the B1 OCS visa. To apply for the transit visa, you must show the following. So intent to pass in immediate and continuous transit through the U.S., a common carrier ticket or other evidence of transportation arrangements to your destination, sufficient funds to carry out the purpose of your transit journey, and permission to enter another country upon departure of the United States. To apply for other C, D, or C1/D visas, you must demonstrate to a consular officer that the purpose of your trip is to enter the U.S. solely for transit or crew purposes, You do not intend to be paid by a U.S. source while in the U.S. unless you have been granted proper approval for a temporary work visa. You plan to stay for a specific limited period of time, and you have evidence of funds to cover all expenses while in the U.S. Applicants whose crewing agents are members of the crew visa program should follow the instructions provided to them by their agent. Now let's talk about the C-1/D application procedure. So applicants are required to appear in person at one of the responsible U.S. embassies or consulates for an interview. So for example, in Germany, you can apply for the C-1/D visa at the U.S. consulate in Berlin, Frankfurt, or Maine or Munich. In addition to the general application documents, you should submit documents regarding the employment relationship, the purpose of travel, and the intention to return. The application is typically submitted to the U.S. consulate of the country in which the applicant lives. Now, once you're at the interview, you generally want to bring certain documents. Again, not all of the documents will be examined, but it is important to have it with you. So your current proof of income, tax payments, property or business ownership or assets tying you to your home country, a letter from your employer detailing your position, salary, how long you've been employed, any authorized vacation, and the business purpose of your U.S. trip, where appropriate, an itinerary and or other information about your planned trip. And of course, this can be tentative, bank savings accounts, books, or other evidence of liquid assets that again indicate the balance in your account and account activity that again is linked to your home country, real estate leases, deeds, and for crew, a letter from your company's headquarters and or your Siemens book. Now, supporting documents are only one of many factors a consular officer will consider in your interview. Consular officers look at each application individually and consider professional, social, cultural, and other factors during adjudication. Consular officers may look at your specific intentions, family situation, and long-range plans and prospects within your country of residence. Each case is examined individually and is accorded every consideration under the law. Although supporting documents may assist you in your interview, consular officers rely primarily on the interview to determine your eligibility for a visa. So in other words, supporting documents are voluntary and of secondary importance. So a question that I will frequently receive is, how long does the application take? So the processing time depends very much on the waiting time until the interview date. And the availability of visa appointments depend, among other things, on the respective consulate or the season. So if the consulate or embassy just has, higher caseload that month, then the wait times are going to be a little bit longer. But generally, about 1 week after the successful interview of at the U.S. consulate, the passport, including the C-1/D visa, will be sent to you by mail if you opted for this option. So another question I'll often receive is, how long is the C-1/D visa valid for? So the validity period of the C-1/D visa depends on the applicant's nationality and is based on the reciprocity schedule. So for example, the C-1/D visa is normally issued for 10 years for German nationals, but validity per entry is much shorter. And this means that a new visa would not have to be applied for again for 10 years because you've got about 10 years until it expires. Now with this visa, there is a maximum stay in the United States of up to 180 days per entry. And this can either be done through several times or in a single block. Now it is important to note that the exception to this rule is for crew members of ships. They have to leave the United States with their ship after 29 days at the latest. So as promised, here's some bonus information that you may not know about. So it is very important to not present false or fake documents. Fraud or misrepresentation can result in permanent visa ineligibility. Now, if confidentiality concerns you, you should bring your documents to the embassy in a sealed envelope. The embassy will not make your information available to anyone and will respect the confidentiality of your information. I hope you found this video helpful. Subscribe if this content or information helps you in any way. Comment below if you want me to talk about something in specific, and share this resource widely because you never know who needs answers to these questions. Additionally, if you have any specific questions about this video as they pertain to your specific circumstances, please schedule a consultation with us, also at the link below, and I'll see you in the next video.